Coach.
How you doing?
How's this spring going for your group?
It's going good. They've been working hard. Every day we've gotten better. We've gotten to practice outside, so that's always good. So they've been working really hard. We're excited for where they are right now.
George, I know you talked about your group getting more yards after the catch and being more dynamic in that aspect. How do you do that? Like, what's the key to adding that part to maybe the part of the game plan there?
I think Coach B always says, like, you get what you emphasize. So that's been a major focus, and guys are doing it. We're getting explosive plays every day. Coach Henry probably wouldn't agree with that, but I count all the little yardage. So, I think, they know it's important and they want to do it. So we've really been just emphasizing every time we touch the ball in team situations, 7-on-7, like that's the goal, to catch it and run after the catch. And a lot of guys are doing it. So hopefully we can continue that trend.
Do you have kind of the familiarity and experience you have with some of your top 4 guys? What do you like to emphasize and try to build on?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You just have like kind of experienced guys for a couple springs. What do you try to emphasize or build on when you've had them for such a long time?
I think we're just always trying to find, we talked about it the other day, it's like we're trying to identify our weaknesses and minimize them. So we all have weaknesses, and we're just trying to make those as small as possible and continue to accentuate our strengths. So that's what we're just trying to do. As you get to know them more, you get to see their weaknesses in more detail, so you can coach them harder or coach them with more detail to tell them, like, hey, this is what I see, this is how you can fix it, let's attack it, and let's try to minimize it or get it off the tape.
Kanari's at the other end of that spectrum. This is his first spring. What's the process of maybe bringing along a young guy like that that's also moving to wide receiver in college?
Oh, he's swimming. He's swimming, but he loves to swim, so that's a good deal. Kanari works really hard every day. He's always in the building, and I think for a mid-year guy, in my experience, like he's probably a little bit farther ahead than some guys I've had, just because of the effort that he puts in to learn it and how important it is for him to get it right. He's very prideful, and when he does make a mistake, to try not to make the same mistake twice. So he's done a really nice job up to this point in the spring.
Obviously, George, go ahead.
Coach, you pretty much had the same receiver room as last year, but now new quarterback room. How's the transition been with the new quarterback room?
I think it's good. Anytime you add new people to a group, it takes time to develop chemistry and understand. But I think, the quarterbacks have done a really good job of understanding us, and we've done a good job of understanding how they like to run routes. So I think we're coming along pretty well.
And the connection with Luke is already kind of starting to develop more and more.
Yeah, with all of them. I think that's the one thing with the guys all being here at the same time and working out in January. I think all those guys are developing chemistry regardless who's in. I think we've been able to do pretty well in the passing game.
Do you have quite a few second-year players? Do you have any that jumped out at you this spring? Maybe Hank Beatty or Ian Pugh, somebody like that surprised you a little bit?
I don't think there's been any surprises. I think the only surprise would be just how well Kanari's done just coming in. But, a lot of those guys have continued to build and grow. Ian's doing a nice job. Ashton Hollins is doing really well. Sean is doing good in his rehab module, just in terms of what he's been able to do and the flashes that he's shown. And then, Pat and Isaiah and Casey have really taken the next step as older guys. So I'm really excited about where the group's at. We got a long way to go, but right now, finishing practice 8, going into the scrimmage, we're really excited about.
For Kanari, how important was it for him to get here early? Is that a huge advantage for him?
Yeah, I think it's an advantage for anybody that can come in mid-year. You get to make mistakes without the consequences of having a game on the other end. So I think anytime a mid-year guy comes in, we understand they're going to struggle, but the goal is to have them ready by August. So, he understands that, and he's been adopting that philosophy, and you can see him not stressing as much, just taking everything in stride and learning every day.
George, how do you mix when you get a mid-year guy like Kanari in with, if he's hard on himself, understanding you're going to make mistakes, you're 18, 19 years old, this is your first spring, and maybe emphasizing really the good things that he's doing just because he keeps his head up?
Right, it's just how you said it. Like, sometimes with the older guys, you can just go straight to, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I think with the younger guys, you have to, hey, you're doing a lot of good things, and this is what you're doing well. These are the things that we got to fix. And, I think the communication, Coach B is really big on communicating with our players and with everybody. And I think that's with the young guys, you have to really over-communicate where they are, how we get the things fixed that where they're short, and what the other end is going to be. And I think with Kanari and any young guys, like, hey, this is the spring. The goal is to get you ready for a fall camp, to get you ready for the season, just so they don't internalize everything and add a mountain to a molehill.
Hopefully I can phrase this in a way that makes sense. Obviously the offense as a whole is losing Chase, who's a big part of what you guys did. What's the role of your room in kind of the evolution of the offense without a Doak Walker finalist? Like, does anything change for you guys without that workhorse running back?
right now we're just trying to earn everything. You know, we'd love to add more value to the offense, and I think any player on offense would like to do that. But right now it's going to be a team game. You know, I mean, we're going to run the ball, we're going to throw the ball. So I think the biggest thing is when we have an opportunity to make a play, we want to make the play, and if we have an opportunity to get more yards after the catch, that's what we're trying to do. And I think that's the biggest thing. If we can be the best version of ourselves, the best receiver unit every single day, then everything else will take care of itself.